Hi everyone, this is Kirk Prine, and we want to, in the month of January, have a juicy conversation about aging. I have here this nice sarong that looks like the skin of a snake, and every 7 years of our lives, it's said that the body itself regenerates all of its cells. So in actuality, every 7 years you have a new physical body. And aging is something I think is gay and queer men. We have our own little spin around. We did a video that a month ago talking about living longer and better in these new aging bodies. So whether you're I think there's somebody interested in doing work with us who's like 19 years old, and there's our elder and who has kind of guided me as a mentor who's in his late 80s. Many men in this spectrum of aging, but as you age, there was, when I was a psychotherapist, there was a book out called Gay and Gray, and it was looking at how men were what their needs were, what their cares were as they got older as gay men. And in this period of time, all of that's probably changing because we're tending to live longer, we're tending to live better in these bodies. So we want to have a juicy conversation about aging, and aging as queer men. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, how do you feel about living in this body, whatever chronological age it may be? I remember as a kid growing up, and I have all these kind of odd people around me, psychic kind of people who would come in and kind of go, you're a very old soul. And I'm getting this kind of information at a very young age. And I think there are ways in which some of us have been very old souls, or have had to play roles in which we did have to take on the responsibility of the world, even, and how that feels in your body. And in this period of your life, my question is, how much pleasure do you have in your body? And mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, how much pleasure are you experiencing in this body as it ages? So we're going to have some really fun and thoughtful conversation around gay men, queer men, and as we age, the things that, how it functions, how it doesn't function. If there's a cutting edge, I saw it during the early AIDS years. We were so attentive and brought a new kind of spirituality almost to those who were both at the edge of living and dying. And many of those people are still around today, and some of them have passed on. But there was a way in which we were with bodies, and in a way of care that I think is tribal, and certainly in the genetics of us as a gay queer tribe in some way. At least I pose that as my thought and belief. Aging. Melodoma Somé, I heard him one time, the Dagara shaman, he used to say, unless you had some wrinkles on your face, you probably weren't considered one of the elders, the wise ones in the community. So aging, is it part of your joy? Is it part of your judgment? In the community, is it part of our joy? Is it part of our judgment? Is it a part of our healthiness? Is it a part of our woundedness? And how do we take care of ourselves? There was a study done recently about gay men in particular as we get older, because many of us don't have whether we have outlived our partnerships or don't have chosen families of care to take care of us, often in the end years of our lives may need special care. How can we attend to the wound of us being not solo, but being actually in community and tribe as we age, and care for each other as family? So there's so many wonderful and juicy things to consider. But my question to you, as I close this kind of hodgepodge of information to think about aging, is simply, how do you feel in your body at this age? Thank you, and namaste.